All right, everybody, it's time for Buck Slaps, where we take the most outrageous claims, statements, utterances by the insane left and give them the slaps that they deserve. Let's start with this one. This one drove me nuts. Night one of the DNC. It's late at night. Biden's all like, I gotta wake up. What's going on? Because they didn't have him on until late, like midnight East Coast time. Almost like they don't really want people to pay attention to the fact that there was a coup to push Biden out, even though he won the Democrat primary. Whoops. And here he repeats in his slander, really his endless slander against Donald Trump. He repeats this very fine people lie. Listen.
When the president was asked what he thought had happened, Donald Trump said, and I quote, "There are very fine people on both sides. My God." That's what he said. That is what he said and what he meant.
It is an outrage that Biden continues to say this. It is such bullcrap. And it just shows you what a jerk he is. I don't feel sympathy for Biden. I don't think Biden's a good guy. I don't think that he means well. I don't think he served his country. I think Biden is an odious jerk. And this is a perfect example of why he needs a slap, metaphorically speaking, because he's just being so clearly dishonest in this. Trump said that he was not praising the people who were with the tiki torches and doing all that stuff. He said very clearly, I'm not talking about the people who are saying stuff about the or with the tiki torches. I'm talking about people talking about the statues, right? The people that are saying we should have statues, we shouldn't tear them down. There are good people on both sides of that debate. I don't even want to have to go over this again because it is so clear. There's a transcript, there's reality. But Biden based his why I should run after the party skipped him in 2016 and let Hillary be the nominee, even though he was VP for 8 years, almost like they knew that Biden was a jackass. When he was explaining the need for him to run, he was telling everybody that it was because of Charlottesville. And so this is a continuing lie. And the fact that he said it again at the DNC, it is so disprovable. It is so clearly garbage. But what else does he have? I mean, he's been a failed president. He is not an honorable or decent guy. And so this soundbite gets a buck slap. Next, Nancy Pelosi. Oh, boy, here we go. She wants to act like she loves Biden.
Have you talked to him? Is my only question.
What I have to do.
Right.
He made the decision for the country. My concern was not about the president, it was about his campaign.
Okay, guys, let's take a look at this for a second. This deserves a buck slap big time. Nancy Pelosi pretending, okay, that it was nothing about the president. It was only his campaign. The campaign was about the president. You can't separate these two things. But man, Nancy is cold. She is ruthless and she is calculating. This is also the woman whose fortune has grown immensely while in office, in part because of her incredible ability to trade the stock market. I mean, better than like any Wall Street hedge fund manager I've ever seen. She's amazing at it. I wonder why that is. But this is just such nonsense that her concern wasn't about Biden. It was just about the campaign. He is the campaign, but they can't speak honestly about this because what do? They threatened. They pushed old man Biden out so fast, they're lucky he didn't dislocate a hip. Okay? They shoved Biden out of his own reelection, and now they turn around and act like this is somehow proof that Biden's a great guy. They all, we love Joe. They're saying, we love Joe, or I love you, Joe, or whatever. They love this guy. They just humiliated him. I mean, they just had this public humiliation ritual where Biden is getting up there. That was when they were forcing him out. And now he has to get up there on television with whoever's watching at this late time of night. But there are people watching. And he has to get up there and act like they were respectful of him and gave him a fair shot. I mean, no, they took the presidency away, or rather the reelection and possible presidency away from him. He didn't want to go. They had to take his old, cold, bony fingers off the levers of reelection power. And now the story is, oh, what he did. Okay. Well, that actually brings me to our third buck slap here. A lot of buck slaps today. Rob Reiner. Rob Reiner, who is a truly, if you don't know this, an unhinged Democrat, like leftist, lunatic Democrat, worth hundreds of millions of dollars, or $100 million, or I don't know, whatever. He's worth huge amounts of money for the movies he made, and that was back when in that business you could make that kind of money easily. But he's made all this money, and now he is just among the most annoying Democrats on the scene. He doesn't know anything about anything, but he really wants people to listen to him, and he's supposed to have a voice and everything. Rob Reiner says, this was classic, there couldn't be a more selfless act.
What do I want to hear him say? What he's been saying for 50 years, that this is not about one person, this is about all of us, and that he's served this country well for 50 years. He's going to lay out what he's done, and he's passing the torch. And there couldn't be a more selfless act that he's doing.
Let's unpack this. There couldn't be a more selfless act than what Biden did. They shoved him out. If I'm on a boat and the boat is sinking and people decide that I'm the reason, maybe a few too many gluten-free pies, I don't know what I've been eating lately, getting a little chubby. But people decide that I'm the reason that the boat is going down, okay? Then they shove me off the boat so that it will stay from sinking. Have I done a selfless thing? No, they shoved me. They decided that I was going. It wasn't like, oh, sure, this is just something that I'm going to do. And I fought them. And that's the other part of this. Biden was openly fighting them. So imagine in my analogy, which we are belaboring, I'm saying, no, you can't shove me. I'm going to wrestle. I'm going to pull out my jujitsu. I'm going to get you in the guard. Yeah, I got him. No, I don't know. I've actually never taken jiu-jitsu. I've done boxing, judo, wrestling, and yes, Krav Maga. But anyway, I've never done jiu-jitsu. I have seen a lot of videos of it though, where I want to get people in the guillotine or the whatever. Anyway, my point is, if I tried to do jiu-jitsu moves on people that were pushing me off the boat, when they finally get me in the water, I don't get to say, see how selfless I am? No, you had to use force to get your way against me, and I tried to stop you from getting it. So Rob Reiner going along with this, there's nothing more selfless that Biden could have done. Are you kidding me? He wanted to spit on all these Democrat, talking heads, and I'm talking about Biden, all these Democrat talking heads who are like, oh, he just did this because he loves us and loves the country. Biden doesn't give a what about the country. He cares about Biden. And they knew that. So they were able to come up with some scheme to override the actual president of the United States and say, you're done. And now they act like he's the second coming of George Washington. All right, $3 slaps today. Shields high.